So here's the situation with Jisu. She was a client of mine, and she was nervous about an upcoming job interview. She told me, Dennis, I don't know what to do. I always freeze when they ask the tough questions. I want to show confidence even though I'm scared. That's a powerful phrase. That sentence was more than just grammar. It was honest, and it became the backbone of how we practiced her answers. The result was she got the job, and the interviewer said they loved her real and grounded answers. So, what's the secret here? Let's talk about how even though can help you sound more natural and powerful in English. All right. I'm going to bring in my good buddy, Mr. Chip, again, like we did a few days ago, and we'll try to keep the answers a little bit shorter this time. All right. Mr. Chip, it's time to turn up the language level to nerd strength. What is going on with the term even though? What kind of language is this?
All right, nerd strength engaged. Even though is a subordinating conjunction, which means it connects two clauses and shows a contrast between them. It's like a little language ninja that emphasizes the unexpected or surprising relationship between two ideas.
Okay, let's think of it like a seesaw, a kid's toy at the playground. When you say even though, you're comparing two things, isn't that right? Even though I was tired, I kept working. So you have tired on one side, but you have determination on the other, right?
Exactly. You nailed it. It's like a seesaw, where even though is the pivot. On one side, you have the challenging condition.
Let's keep it simple. Don't get carried away. Keep your answers short and pithy, not robotic. We want to be showing those complex situations. We're going to talk about a few examples. I'm going to show you my screen. By the way, folks, you can use ChatGPT and their app on your phone. It's got a little camera feature. So I'm going to share my screen with Mr. Chip. Can you see everything there, Mr. Chip? We're going into basic examples.
I can see everything perfectly.
Okay, example number 1. Even though I didn't sleep well, I gave a great presentation. How about the next one?
Even though I didn't sleep well sets up the challenge, and I gave a great presentation.
Now, here's a good one. He smiled even though he was clearly exhausted.
Oh, that's a great one. The exhaustion sets up the expectation, and the smile flips it. It's a neat way to highlight how even though introduces an unexpected or contrasting outcome.
Great. And you'll notice this one. We continued the meeting even though the power went out.
Oh, that's awesome. You've got a clear disruption with the power going out, but the meeting kept rolling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a perfect way to show how even though highlights overcoming a surprising or difficult situation.
You'll notice here, it's often used when you expect one outcome but get another. And that's what makes this so powerful in conversation. And I really love that it lets you show strength through struggle. Like, even though I'm nervous, I'm still excited to be here today. So it's real.
Exactly. It's such a great tool.
Let's look at a few more extended examples. Even though she didn't meet the deadline, her boss praised her for the quality of her work.
Oh, that's a good one. The missed deadline sets up the expectation of disappointment.
I want you to notice something here, Mr. Chip. Can we use even though at the beginning or in the middle? When should we use it?
Great question. You can totally use even though at the beginning or in the middle of a sentence. If you start with it, like, even though she didn't meet the deadline, her boss praised her. It sets the stage for the unexpected outcome.
Okay. It's like using it as a way to, like you said, set the stage. You're priming the listener for what's going to come. What about when you use it in the middle, like the team celebrated the launch, even though it was a smaller project?
In that case, you're setting up the contrast right at the moment you mention the smaller project. And then boom, the celebration is the surprise.
All right. He kept applying for jobs even though he got rejected 5 times. Now, give us a tip about how we can use this, Mr. Chip.
All right, here's a tip. When you're using even though, think about the contrast you want to highlight. Put the challenging or surprising part right after even though, and then follow it with the outcome or action. It's a great way to emphasize perseverance.
How about the tone of voice when we use this connecting term?
Yes, good call. When you use even though, you often want to emphasize the contrast with a slight change in your tone. You can make the first part sound more like a challenge or an obstacle.
Okay. I want to move us along because this is 15-minute mastery, not 20-minute mastery. So we'll move on. All right, we're going to do a little fill in the blank exercise, and I want everybody to try this together. I'm going to give the first half of the sentence, and then we'll come up with a second. So here's the first half of the sentence. Even though I was feeling sick, drop your chat response. What do you think? Even though I was feeling sick, what's the second half of the sentence? Go ahead, give us your best guess, Mr. Chip.
All right, I'm on it. Even though I was feeling sick, I managed to finish my project on time.
Okay, that's a good one. I finished, in our example slide, it says, I finished the presentation for my team. Okay. How about the next sentence? She accepted the challenge even though. What do you think, Mr. Chip?
How about she accepted the challenge even though she had never done anything like it before?
That's it. She had never done it before. That's exactly what the slide says, too. All right, here's another one. Even though it was raining, what are we going to say, Mr. Chip?
All right, let's keep it going. Even though it was raining, they went ahead with the picnic anyway.
Oh, very good. They went ahead with the picnic anyway. Or we enjoyed our picnic under the pavilion. This is good stuff. Now you can read them out loud. It's very important to speak out loud, folks. Feel the rhythm, feel the emotional shift, and that's how we make our English sound more alive. Now we're going to do another exercise where we rewrite our sentences to make them more vivid using even though. Here's my first choice. I've got example number 1. I was tired. I went to the gym anyway. That's kind of robotic and boring. What would you say would be a good way to fix that, Mr. Chip?
Let's spice it up. Even though I was tired, I still hit the gym.
Ooh, I still hit the gym. Yeah, that's a good one. I went to the gym even though I was tired. Okay, how about our next example? The report was late. The client was happy. That seems a little contradictory, right? How can we fix that with even though, Mr. Chip?
A fun little twist. Let's try, even though the report was late, the client was happy with the results.
Oh, that's good. How about the client was happy even though the report was late? Here's a practice tip. Try writing 3 even though sentences about your day. Speak them aloud with emotion to practice the rhythm and the tone, then record yourself and listen. You can even practice with ChatGPT, your very own Mr. Chip, and find out, do you sound natural and connected? All right, we're going to do a little bonus here. Even if versus even though. This is a common mix-up, isn't that, Mr. Chip?
It's a common mix-up, but a fun one to sort out. Even though introduces a surprising contrast, while even if talks about a hypothetical condition.
So even though is about reality, even if is about possibility. So we could say, for example, even though it's raining, I'm going outside. Now, that means it is raining. It's a real situation. Or even if it's raining, I'll go outside. That means it might rain. It's a possible situation. So one is raining now, and the other, it might rain later. So remember, even though is your power phrase for showing contrast with confidence. It says, yes, this was hard, but I did it anyway. And it makes your English feel more real and your storytelling feels stronger. All right, before we wrap up, let's do a quick troubleshoot. Mr. Chip, what are some common mistakes? I'm showing confusion with because. Why is that a common mistake?
The mix-up happens because even though and because can appear in similar spots in a sentence. But even though introduces a contrast, while because introduces a reason. For instance, even though it was late, we finished the project. Versus because it was late, we had to finish the project quickly.
Okay, here's an example. Even though I was hungry, I ate dinner. Now, that sounds a little off. Actually, I'm going to say goodnight to you, Mr. Chip. So say goodnight to the people, and I'll finish this presentation.
Good night, everyone. Keep practicing those contrasts, and remember, even though is your friend for showing off those surprising twists.
That's enough of that. Oh, he's so talkative, isn't he? My goodness. I might not just invite him anymore. All right. So, like I said, even though I was hungry, I ate dinner sounds a little bit weird. The sentence contradicts itself. Being hungry explains why you ate. So the correct phrase would be, because I was hungry, I ate dinner. The next one is, of course, we just mentioned, mixing it up with even if, even though, even if. Remember, even though is for real situations, and even if is for hypothetical situations or possibilities. Okay? If it's real, go with even though. Next one is overuse. Make sure that you don't use this term all the time just because you just learned it. Overusing it will make your speech sound overly dramatic. So try to keep a nice balance. And finally, make sure your second clause, that's the second part of the sentence, is actually contrasting the first one. For example, even though I was excited, I jumped up and down doesn't really work because there's no contrast. Try even though I was tired, I jumped up and down. Now there's tension. Okay? Bottom line, think of even though as a dramatic spotlight and use it when you want to shine a light on contrast or conflict or resilience. And that's when it's most powerful. Okay, so here is your challenge for this week. Use even though in a conversation or an email. Show your strength, your contrast, your story, and then come back and tell us in the comments, what did you say? How did you feel? Okay, read it aloud, practice as much as you can, and then share those examples in the comments, like I said. And look, if this episode has proven to be helpful for you, I want you to drop a like, hit the button, put a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget you can read more tips like this in the full blog post at allaboutenglishmastery.com. And I will put, the link is in the description for the original article. And while you're there, be sure to sign up for the newsletter. It's free every week. Fresh tips for English, idioms, and conversation tools delivered to your inbox every week.